This is it, episode 7, and it's our final ep.
There is one major thing to complete, and that is our front facades.
There's so many moving parts, there's heaps of work to do, there's amazing finishes and curves and textures, and these things are going to be epic.
I think they might be our best yet. In any build or renovation, the front facade is so important, and I want people to stand at the front of this build and go, I really want to go into that house.
Yeah, that's right. We love to mix up the finishes, the textures, and help to tell that story from inside to outside. These front facades will be amazing. There's a lot of details. There's some curved render and planter boxes. There's a cantilevered timber screen and some amazing stonework.
They're going to be the ultimate modern coastal homes.
When it comes to cladding, you could literally just pick one product and wrap your whole house in it, but we wanted to create some interest, so we picked 3 different profiles from James Hardie to help tell that modern coastal vibe.
It is very exciting. So we have this western side of the house here, and we have used the Hardie's brushed concrete cladding, and I love that it has this vertical texture through it. On the eastern wing of the house, we've used the Hardie's fine texture cladding. Again, it is similar to the brushed concrete, but it's got that sandy texture through it. And again, once that's painted, it is done.
From a building point of view, I love seeing the cladding going because it really starts to brings the build to life, especially when you see all the nice finishes go around the windows. You start to see that vision that we've had for so long. So, you know, we're gonna keep kicking goals, and hopefully we'll be done cladding in the next few days. We'll get it painted, drop the scaffold, and we're locked up.
And I really need to lock in an exterior colour.
Incorporated into the front facade, we've got these really oversized arch windows, which are a huge statement for that front facade and help get all the natural light into that entry void.
Alongside the James Hardie cladding, we have this feature stone. It's called Facade. Gary has been installing it from the very beginning of the job, and it is so textured. Some of these pieces look like actual pieces of coral.
It's those elements that definitely help bring the vibe of that coastal home together.
Selecting an exterior paint colour can really confuse people, and I get a lot of questions about how and where you start. So for me, it's about narrowing down my selections and going darker than you would expect, because when you have a home that is in full sunlight, it can get very glary.
You want to stand back and admire your house without having a pair of solar eclipse sunglasses on and being blinded.
So I narrow down my selections. I have them on physical samples that are large enough to actually take in the colour, and I move them around and look at them in different spots over at the job site and also at different times of the day. I've narrowed our colour choices for the exterior down to these 4. What do you think?
I don't mind them. I know we've used this one before. That's a bit grey. I like the bottom one. That's probably a little bit too grey too.
So in my head, I've narrowed it down to Aspen Snow or Pebble Bay Half.
Yep.
This looks amazing next to the stone because it's really bright and crisp and it pops. But I really love the warmth of this. This looks too stark against our dark black window frames.
Yep. So you pick Pebble Bay Half?
Well, I'm actually thinking that I will use Pebble Bay Quarter because it's like the best of both worlds. It's like that warmth, but it'll be a little bit crisper because it's, not as much tint.
Doesn't matter if I don't like it anyway, does it? You've already picked it.
That is correct. That is correct.
All right. I don't think I'll actually ever get to pick a colour, will I?
No, that's my lane, mate. You stay in yours, I'll stay in mine.
It's time to get painting, so we've got Fraser here, and first things first, he's using the 3-in-1, which is a Taubman's primer, sealer and undercoat.
Next up, we're using Taubman's All Weather in our Pebble Bay Quarter, and this actually has a lifetime warranty against peeling, flaking and blistering.
All right, I have been thinking about this steel in my brain literally since we started designing this. So today it's all happening on site. It's actually all come out. We're installing the steel and everything's going smoothly so far. It's just a slow process. So slow and steady, nice and safe, and it really helps. You can see it's starting to, this front facade, it's breaking that tall part of that top level up. So it's all about the aesthetics now. This is gonna look great. Without the awning, the front facade would feel quite top heavy, it would feel flat and not very interesting. But the moment that we introduce it, it then creates like a really nice architectural feature. And once all those knotwood battens go on, it provides shade over those balconies as well. So with most of our builds, we've always gone with natural timber products. Like our whole house is basically clad with so much black butt and I love it. But the maintenance side of things is seriously a drag. So I didn't want to have any maintenance, especially with this front facade, and there is so much of it as well. So we've opted to go with this knotwood product. These are the 100 by 50 battens, and these form the whole decorative batten look for this front facade. So a little bit skeptical at first about what to go with, but now that we've got it on site, I'm so stoked. We've spaced them quite close together, but it adds for a really nice effect. So we are flying through this front facade and it's really starting to come together.
The battens add an element of colour to the facade as well, which I think was definitely needed.
The plants are here, everyone's in action stations, it's go time.
It's like the icing on the cake from the top down.
Those upstairs garden beds are starting to look amazing.
And if you didn't realise that we have garden beds up there, you do now because that green is popping.
If you don't know, now you know. This beautiful tree is here, all the way from WA. We've rescued this beautiful thing and it's going to go right at the front of the build just to complement the whole entire front of this beautiful project. So I'm stoked. Today is a planting day for the front of Bay Builds. We have a massive amount of plants and I'm actually not sure where everything goes. That's where Matt Lacey comes in.
With this design, what we decided to do was pull out any front walls, any front fences, just to make the property feel a bit more expansive and to soften it down and be able to see the available garden before you look at the house. The hero of this space is this Dracaena Draco, which is getting put in this circular planter here. So it's a little bit elevated. It's going to provide a bit more scale to the house and it's going to look absolutely stunning. With all of the other plants that we've got going in, it's going to be pretty cool.
This project really is the epitome of modern coastal. With its curved veranda and upper green garden beds, simplistic lines, she's a beautiful thing.
I can't work out which element is my favourite, and I think that's the beauty of this project. Each element works together so well to tell this overall story.
The first thing to grab your eye is that cantilevered knotwood awning. It provides such an architectural feature.
There's a lot going on this front facade. We have 3 different types of James Hardie cladding and the render, but the Taubman's Pebble Bay Quarter helps to bring that all together.
For our cladding, we've used James Hardie fine texture, brushed concrete, and linear weatherboard.
The black arch windows are a big feature from the front and they help to link the sliding doors into the main bedrooms.
The addition of the curved concrete planter boxes were a massive undertaking, but I am really happy with how they turned out. They provide the ultimate architectural layer.
The garage doors are a big feature and they provide a great link between the ground floor and that upstairs awning.
We've positioned the dragon tree in the centre of the 2 homes, and as you look through, your eyes are immediately drawn to the stone feature wall in the entryways.
The scale of the stone wall is such a feature and really does help to draw your eye upwards. And I love this view because you really can see all the different materials working together.
And finally, to complement the curved features of this home, we've incorporated the rounded steppers to lead you into the entryways of each home.
I actually can't believe it. 2 beautiful homes are finally complete and ready to sell.
Those long days on site, getting the slab down, putting the foundations in, frames going up and cladding going on, literally feels like a lifetime ago. And finally, seeing the roof go on and the garage doors, that was a huge milestone of getting to lock up.
I remember being as equally relieved as I was terrified at how much work there still was to do to get 2 houses complete.
It was definitely a massive undertaking, but having the Rams construction loan meant that our progress payments were paid directly to the builder along the way, making the financial side of things seamless. It was actually the only part of the build where there wasn't a delay.
So true. And after a progress payment was made at lockup, it was time to focus our energy inside and create some amazing bathrooms and kitchens. The kitchens in these homes are stunning, and in my opinion, they're the best we have ever done.
I totally agree. And once the next progress payment was paid, it meant we could start work on the internal and the external painting.
And we've had so much painting to get through, but now that it's complete, the unique character of each home really does shine through.
And a final payment release got us over the finish line to complete those external areas, gardens, and the pools.
Those outdoor entertaining areas really are such a dream, and I still can't decide which one's my favourite because I really do love them both.
One thing we've done is decked out these homes with some epic Samsung appliances.
The cool thing about this is we can control all these appliances from the SmartThings app, remotely or at home.
The map view feature is a great addition, as you can see all your appliances laid out, making it really easy to navigate. This project has been massive, and it's actually been a lot of fun experimenting with the lighter home and darker home.
I've really enjoyed creating 2 unique personalities on the one layer, and I think it's such a nice surprise for people to walk into one house and feel one way, and then walk into another house and feel completely different.
I think one of my favourite parts of House 2 was definitely that red powder room. It's got so much character and it's a really moody, awesome vibe, and it just is so different to House 1 powder room.
I really loved playing with the warmer timbers in House 2 and then experimenting with the styling, mixing up the rustic tones with the micro cement. It's been a nice change from our normal light bright scheme. 2 hero moments for me are the dining areas in both homes because I feel they tell the story of the homes so well. In House 1 we have the white timber beams, the lighter micro cement, and those really feminine pendant lights. And in House 2 we have that rustic table and the sisal lights, and again it tells the story of House 2 perfectly.
I really love House 1. It's bright, it's airy, and it feels familiar, but there's something about House 2 which keeps drawing me back here, and I think it's these dark and moody tones, and it's something new that we haven't done before.
I agree. I think House 1 will be more popular, but for me, House 2 is my winner, and I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, except that when I walk in, I just have this amazing feeling. It's like I'm on holidays.
Well, we're actually putting these homes on the market, we're selling, and we'd love to do an auction.
And if we do go to auction, we will definitely film that for you guys to watch. But until then...
It's a wrap. We are wrapping it up. We're not doing another project anytime soon. We're going on a holiday.
We'll go on a holiday and then we'll report back with another project.
Not anytime soon, but...
No.